Hi, everybody. It's 3 o'clock, and gosh, it's so unusual for me to be here at 3 o'clock because God knows it's been a while. And I just wanted to, had no notion at all about doing a Facebook Live today. And I thought, you know what, it's time because I have been missing for quite a while. I've been missing for, truthfully, I've been missing a couple of months. I've been missing at least 2 months. And I just wanted to let you know. So I'm going to sit and relax and wait, and hopefully that somebody will be able to join me because it was short notice. I know somebody's there. Oh, tell me who's there. Don't let me be here by myself. Do say hello to me. Where are you? And what are you up to? And is the sun shining? Because it's been lashing rain here all day. I've got a lovely love heart coming up there. That's great. Thank you. Are my comments open? They are, I think. Oh, somebody say hello to me, and then I know that you're there, and I know that the comments and everything are working. It's Shirley Kenovic. Shirley, how are you? Oh, you know what? It's karma that you're the first person to come up on the screen. And Karen Doherty is there. So lovely to see you. Well, it's lovely to know that you're there too, Karen and Shirley. That's just gorgeous. So I don't know where to start, so I'm not going to think too deeply about this. I am just going to, somebody's there, I don't know who it is, they're saying hi, Anne. This is going to be just from the heart. It's honest, and but I felt bad because, I literally disappeared. And the reason I disappeared is because I wasn't feeling well. I was feeling awful. I was actually quite sick. And being brutally honest, I ignored. Nullick Larkin is there too. Hello, Nullick. Oh, it's lovely to see you, my smiling Galway girl. Audrey's there too, my smiling Dublin girl. Brilliant. Okay, yeah, a couple of months ago, I started to feel very unwell. And initially, I kind of thought, I'll ignore this. It'll go away. I was having bowel symptoms. It's not very glamorous, but I was having constant diarrhea, and that is the truth. And we were over in Carrick for a good bit of the summer, and I was blaming it on takeaway food and taking away food non-stop. Barry and Judge is there too. Beautiful to see all these lovely familiar faces and names coming in. So anyway, blaming takeaway food, saying, sure, I'm having more wine than I would have if I was at home, eating fried foods, Indians, Chinese. I wasn't cooking. So we came back and I decided to stop drinking. I thought, sure, maybe it was drink and I'll give up drink and everything will be fine. And I gave up drink. And the symptoms still continued. I have to say I felt great and I slept really well with no drink on board, but no, symptoms just got worse and worse and worse. And I remember a date, particularly in my mind, it was the 10th of July, and my lovely nephew got married, and I spent the entirety of Ben's wedding pretty much in the bathroom. So that was on Saturday, and then the Monday morning I got in touch with my GP, and then everything sort of mushroomed a little bit. Breda Kelly is saying, hi Anne, so nice to see you back again. It's lovely to be back. So anyway, that was July the 10th. And Mary, my GP, is wonderful, and she did a trawl of bloods and sent off a stool sample, and it came back. There's a test called calprotectin that they do that determines the level of inflammation in your bowel. And normal is 50. At 200 to 300, you'd pay attention. Mine was 1,050, which was pretty worrying. And I had some pain too. I had some upper quadrant pain as well, which worried me too. And you know that I trained as a nurse, so I had the answer to everything in my head. I didn't need Dr. Google to tell me anything. So I did have an ultrasound, and thankfully that came back actually okay. Long story short, I was very lucky. I got an urgent colonoscopy here in Letterkenny on the 13th of August. And going into that, the writing was on the wall because of the level of inflammation, because of my symptoms, but particularly because of that calprotectin test. They told me I probably, most likely, had Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis. Okay, and Miriam was saying, Anne, great to see you back and well. And you know what, Miriam, I do feel well. I actually do feel well. So maybe I'm glad that I didn't come back when I wasn't totally up to par. But anyway, the reality was Anne probably had Crohn's, or if she was lucky, ulcerative colitis. And a hard pill to swallow. I know I know plenty of people who've got Crohn's, and it's a tough diagnosis because there is no cure. this treatment. It's ongoing treatment and protecting your bowel and watching triggers, and and even my GP talked about things like immunosuppressants and cortisone and different therapies that that I possibly would have to have. And I remember the night before the colonoscopy, that was the 12th of August. And I remember for many reasons, because if any of you have ever had a colonoscopy before, I can't believe I'm talking about this 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but it's important. The prep is horrendous. The prep for colonoscopy is horrendous. And of course, you need a perfectly clean, pristine, sterile bowel. Otherwise, the procedure will be abandoned. But I found it so tough. And it was so funny because a couple of days before that, I got an email from one of the editors in RSVP magazine, and she asked me if I would write an article for them on finishing touches in your home. Lengthy article. Normally I would have been so delighted to do it, but I was in such bad form and I was in the middle of the prep. But anyway, somehow I did manage to get it done. And guess what? Yesterday, this gave me such a lift. Yesterday, in this RSVP magazine, the one with Maura Duran on the cover, and Kelly Harrington and Ryan Tuberty and Nikki Byrne and Clodagh McKenna's beautiful wedding, and Vogue Spencer and me. So the article, I did write it, but the prep was horrendous. And if anybody is ever needing a colonoscopy, get in touch with me, because I think I've come up with ways that it just makes a prep more palatable. It doesn't make it easy. But anyway, that was the Thursday night, and I went to bed and I thought to myself, it's more than likely that you've got Crohn's disease. So I was totally accepting. I thought, whatever they tell me tomorrow, I'm ready for this. My mind is able to take it, and I'm strong enough, and I will just deal with it. But that night, over and over again in bed, I kept saying to myself, and you don't have Crohn's disease, and you don't have ulcerative colitis. I actually did that. I've never told that to anybody, never even told my husband, but I actually did. I kept saying that over and over. Now, I'm not naive enough to think that just because I say something, it's going to happen. I said to myself yesterday, I'm going to win the lottery. And then I realized yesterday evening, you actually have to buy a ticket before you can win the lottery. But I did say that over and over to myself. I'm going to sleep, and I did sleep that night. I said, yes, whatever happens, whatever diagnosis I'm given tomorrow, I will accept it, and I will just move on and do the very best that I can, and it will not stop me in any way, shape, or form. So I went in and I had my colonoscopy, and it was fabulous in the sense that I was with lots of girls who I worked with. And it was beautiful. In fact, one of the girls, Anne-Marie, who was with me all the time, I had replaced her in theatre when she went off to work in Vincent's a good few years ago. But it was lovely to have these familiar girls there. And anyway, long story short, I didn't have Crohn's. And I didn't have ulcerative colitis. I did have 6 polyps. I had 5 small polyps and 1 large polyp. And I did have 2 diverticuli. Which was brilliant news, I have to say. And I've been told you have 6 polyps. It's probably not what you want to hear, but because of what I was facing into, or the diagnosis that I thought and everybody thought I was facing into, that was really good news. And that was great. So I came back home and I rested, and I have to say it took it out of me. I was really tired, and I have been tired up until quite recently. But yesterday I went back to my consultant. I'm just going to scan down here because I have a funny feeling I'm missing messages, and I don't want to do that. Went back to my consultant at 12 o'clock yesterday, and he told me that my polyps were benign. 2 of them are adenomas, which have the potential to be precancerous, but to be honest, not many people will develop cancer from them. It just means that in a couple of years' time, I'll have another colonoscopy, and we'll keep an eye on that, which is brilliant news. But he also told me that I probably have IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, which of course I will live with. I'm now on the FOMAP diet. If anybody is familiar with it, I'd love you to get in touch with me and tell me how you're getting on with it, because it's quite restrictive, but already it's only been 24 hours and I do feel better. I don't have the bloating that I had. And look, if all I have to do is eat very specific foods, I will do that, because I realized on last weekend that even though I was told I had the polyps, this wasn't what was causing my symptoms. So I knew there was something else going on. And of course, I started going into overdrive and thinking the very worst. We had another wedding, beautiful wedding in Sligo, another nephew on Friday. And I was able to eat perfectly. And I had a couple of glasses of Prosecco and a glass of wine, and it was lovely. But on Sunday, the diarrhea started again rampantly. It was horrendous all day long. And again, then on Monday, not quite as bad, but bad enough. So that's when I got in touch with my consultant, and he said, look, I'll see you on Wednesday and we'll sort this out. And he did. And I'm so thankful. So I'm back. But have I been worried over the last 2 months? Yes. All sorts of things. And to be honest, I think the night before the colonoscopy, even things like my own morbidity flashed through my mind. And I remember, oh God, Neil held me in his arms that night and he said, look, you're going to be fine. And I said, yeah, I know. But for the first time ever, I'm feeling vulnerable. I'm feeling, gosh, what if I'm not fine? But I'm thankful that my mindset is strong. It's really, really, really strong. Because I've told you this before, I've been honest about, I did think it was about 3 years ago, but it's not. I think I discounted the year of COVID. It's actually more like 4 years ago when I was definitely not in a good place or a strong place. I was falling apart, but I didn't realize it. On the outside, everything looked fine, but on the inside, I was far from fine. And that's when I started to work on my mindset really strongly. And then for about a year after that, Neil was airlifted to Galway, as you know, with a 2% chance of survival. And he survived. But I do remember the strength that I found that day as well, that I think has stayed with me and will stay with me for the rest of my life. So I'm rambling, but I can't tell you enough how important it is, if your body's telling you something, if something doesn't feel right, if you feel a bump, you've got something on your skin, or you're just like me, or if you've got, some sort of physical symptom, something going on that just doesn't feel right, that isn't right, will you please just go and get checked out. Because the sooner you get checked out, the sooner you'll have resolution. Ellen is there too. Hi, Ellen. So mind yourself, mind your body. Your body is such a fine-tuned, clever organ, and it just tells you when something is wrong, so don't ignore it. Today I was chatting to a fabulous girl who looks a picture of health, incredible, and she's had lots of health issues this year, but she does a lot of yoga and meditation, and I know that that's keeping her really, really strong, and she looks amazing. So my mind has been strong all the way through this, even when I was feeling really, really tired and exhausted. I knew that I'd get through this. I absolutely knew that I would. And I kept doing my journaling, and I kept doing everything, the daily routine that I do every single day, all these things. I have done, even on the worst days, I've done them. So I've been talking about this for so long, and some of you have been waiting so patiently for me to come back to you with this. But my program / boot camp / community / course, call it whatever you want, is going to launch next week. I'm calling it Finding Your Fabulous. It's 12 weeks of targeted strategic action that you can take to get you from being unstuck. I know there's somebody here who's told me she's very, very stuck at the minute. She knows who she is, and she has already joined up. Some of the girls have already joined up, which is brilliant. Audrey has joined up as well. But we will start next week, because I can tell you that all the things that I've achieved over the last couple of years, and I'm not saying this to brag, I'm just saying it because they have happened, I could never have done. Never. I can tell you, even down to that article, 2 pages there it is. I can't believe I found that so quickly. 2 full pages of an article in RSVP magazine, and picture of me at the bottom. That would never have happened if my mind was not in the place that it is at the minute, honestly. And do I have bad days? Of course I do, like everybody else, but somehow I can get over them, and I can give myself this amazing energy. And it's not because I'm out running or walking or doing things like that, but there are lots and lots of things that I do, lots and lots of things, and they do help me. And I want to share them with you. And I'm going to devote the next 3 months to this. I don't care if there's only a handful of people there. It's not about money. It's not about, yes, I hope I will earn some money from it, but I want to help. This has worked for me. It has been the most profound, most powerful thing that I've done in my life for me, and I want to do it because some of the girls who joined up, I know them and I know where they're at, and I want to help them, and we'll do it together. And it's always going to be like way back to the days of the daily Facebook Lives. When COVID struck, and Anne naively said, sure, we'll keep this up until COVID is over. And a year and a half later, we were still there. So this is going to be personal. It's going to be in a closed group, and it's going to be fantastic. I know it is. So if anybody wants any information, send me your email in a direct message, because I have, believe it or not, to the girls who are waiting patiently, I actually have just about 10 minutes ago finished the email for you guys. And you'll get it very, very shortly once the video is finished. So if anybody's got a question, hit me at it. Marion is saying, hi Anne, sorry to hear that you've not been well. It's important to listen to your body. Best wishes to you. But you know something, we don't always listen to our bodies, do we? And we're busy, and you think, oh, sure, it'll go away. Have the courage, just do it. Pick up the phone, make the appointment. Please. I remember during lockdown as well, I found something on my left breast, went to my GP, but I deliberated as well. I actually did. Waited a little bit of time thinking, oh, sure, it'll go away, it'll be fine. And went, it was because of COVID, didn't want to be in the surgery and all of that. And went to Mary, who said, Anne, you're going to need a mammogram. This has to be checked out. And I can remember being up there, and this was a very poignant moment for me too, because there's somebody I know, a beautiful lady, who was there too. And we were so nervous, and we were masked up. We didn't recognize each other, and then we did, and and it was lovely that we had each other together. But I can remember the radiologist who told me that my mammogram was fine. She said, I think she said, normally, Anne, I would have 40 patients at this clinic, and now she had 10, and that worries the hell out of me, because I'm thinking all those other women who were symptomatic, who maybe needed to be there, where were they and what has happened to them? So please remember this, and just, if there's anything up at all, anything, get it checked out. And and be like me, even if they're going to tell you something that you don't want to hear. And I did not want to hear the word Crohn's. I actually felt, ulcerative colitis I could handle, but Crohn's, it's just so tough. And I know people who've got it, and people who've had it since they were in their 30s, and it's a tough one. And I know many of you here, and people have been sending me messages over the last couple of days, and you've all been through tough times as well. So it's important that we pull together, but it's really, really important that we keep our mindset strong and positive. Denise Smith, I wonder, is that Denise Smith, the interior designer, one of my fellow Showhouse, RTE Showhouse interior designers? Denise is saying, thanks for sharing, appreciate your honesty. Denise, if that's you, send me a message, because I would love to have, I had fully intended to have some interior designers as my guests, because you know what, to me, there's no competition. You walk in your own shoes. Everybody is for everybody, and we're all not for everybody. That's what I'm trying to say. We all have our people. Actually, Anna DeMarini, who was here with me, gosh, a couple of months ago, said something amazing. She said, your vibe attracts your tribe. So, we all attract different people and different folk, and that's all good. So Denise, if that's you, Denise in Dublin, yeah, it is. Well, do you know something? Shorsheen Moriarty was at the wedding as well in Sligo. So I was with your relatives. I'm not quite sure how you're related, and I don't even know how I know that you guys know each other. But oh, Denise, yeah, we have to hook up. That'd be great, and you'll have great fun. We'll have great fun with Denise. That'd be just brilliant, because I am going to reinstate come next week. Anne's going to get very busy. I am going to reinstate my interviews, my expert interviews. I have a load of people. They're in-laws. That's God, life is a very small world, isn't it? It's like yesterday, I was speaking to Audrey, who is joining Finding Your Fabulous next week. She's already joined up, and she's in Dublin, has an amazing old house in Dublin, but they've built a new house on the property, and she's in the process of getting them organized and decorated and built and all of that. And she said, I have somebody I want you to speak to. It's about a collaboration. And I thought, oh, interesting. And I said, how do you know these people? How do you know this person? Blah, blah, blah. And it transpired that this girl's mum, I've already done her house in Sligo. Isn't that crazy? Couldn't believe it. It's such a small world. Yes. Maybe the common denominator is Sligo, Denise. I don't know. But look, the great news is I'm back. I really am. And going back to the power of your mind, over the last week or more, I have been feeling incredibly tired, and I've been disappointed at how tired I have been. That's one of the reasons I didn't even get the emails out to the girls who wanted them, even though I knew they wanted them, and I knew I wanted to get them out, but I just didn't. 2 or 3 o'clock would come and I would get extremely tired. But once I heard yesterday that the histology on those polyps was normal, and that I could treat myself by watching my diet and having the appropriate diet. It was like this cloud lifted over me, honestly, and my energy has just returned to me. Honestly, it has. I'm not doing anything differently. Actually, there's one thing I'm doing differently. Today, I got a gorgeous parcel in the post. Haven't quite figured out how to use it yet, but I will. There's an amazing ceramicist, gosh, I said that right, ceramicist called Cora Cummins in Galway as well, I think. Moira Geary, I heard Moira Geary talking about her and talking about her mug, and the mug is called the Mindful Mug, okay? It says, value yourself by choosing something you love to drink from. And I'm not talking about wine or Prosecco. And connect with yourself by bringing awareness to what you're doing. So there's a whole process. I think it has its leanings in Japanese tradition, but this is the mug. Now, I hope you can see it. It's stunning. It's absolutely stunning. And the feel of it is just, it's so tactile. The glazing on it is super. The colors and everything. And I waited months for this because when I got in touch with Cora, she said it's going to be a month because I will make it for you, especially for you. And she did, and it arrived today. And it's got an indentation here. I don't know if you can see that, where you put your thumbs. But the gas thing is, I haven't figured out how to use it. She sent me some lovely teas, some lovely organic peppermint tea and ginger and lemon tea with it, which I've had. But I haven't figured out how to drink from it. And I presume this is where you drink from it, but anytime I do that, I spill it all over myself. So I must learn how to do it and how to do it properly. I'll try to do it, but I'm sure that's not the way you do it because it's meant to be relaxing. So for me, it's not relaxing yet because I haven't figured out how to do it. But I'm going to use this and I'm going to be mindful. And maybe even I'll use this cup to remind me of the last 2 months that I've gone through and just how important it is to be kind to yourself, to look after yourself. So I'm back. I'm so glad. You know what? This was a notion on a pure whim. It was raining and I just thought, you know what? I want to go back. I feel ready to go back and I'm back. So I probably will post a little agenda now over the next couple of days. Well, it's only Fridays tomorrow. And I'll have an agenda for next week and I'll let you know what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to take health as a topic for next week. So what I might even do, I have some really good interviews that I might put up on repeat. One is with Uno Hagen, pharmacist and friend, who we had a very, very good talk about gut health and how important gut health is, just not for your gut, but for your mind as well. And I'm a firm believer in this. And then it's ironic that I ended up with a gut problem. And I can't help wondering. Now, one of the things that my consultant said to me yesterday was he thinks I might have had a very bad gastroenteritis. And Una had gifted me 3 months supply of Simprove, the probiotic, which I had taken. And it's gas. I stopped taking it a couple of weeks ago because I thought, gosh, maybe that's what's causing the diarrhea. But listen, I begin to think that's what saved me, that I would have been in a much worse state if I hadn't been taking it. So I will. So Una's interview will be up one day next week. Emmett Rush had a wonderful interview about fitness and health and, you know, easy ways to upgrade your fitness. So I will do that. Let me think what else. Oh, gosh, I remembered them all yesterday. Another one was Lorraine Boyce, pelvic health physio, because I know lots of people are having gynae issues and prolapses and things like that. And to be honest, I have a little bit of an issue myself too that I need to talk to Lorraine about. So that's 3 that I can think of off the top of my head, but there's probably more. So I will run them next week. They'll go out, probably not at 3 o'clock. I pick a time and they'll go out as a repeat or a replay, and you can watch them. And then I'll figure out who my guests will be for next week. And I need to figure out too, because for Finding Your Fabulous, I've got quite a few guests, and when you get the information, you'll see, you know, what topics the guests are going to be talking about, and there'll be super one-to-one interviews and dialogue and Q&As with them. So some of those guys know that they're doing it and the others don't know yet, but they'll know next week. Somebody else is saying to me, delighted to see you back, Anne. Always enjoy the different topics, always great information. Stay well. Do you know something? On that note, I will go. Stay well. That's what it's all about. You know, all through lockdown, I said to you, stay fabulous, which you must do, and stay safe, but stay well too. It's really important, and it's not selfish to think about you at all. Self-love is really, really important. And you know what? If you you can't fill from an empty vessel, and a girl that I got in touch with up in Belfast said, happy wife, happy life. So you know what she means is that if you're happy, your family are going to be happy. And if you look after yourself, you're going to look after them anyway, but it's really important that you look after yourself too. So I'm delighted that I decided I would pop in and say hello to everybody. I did, and I felt bad. I felt I should have done a post or even a little video over the last 2 months to say this is where I'm at, but I just wasn't able. I was not in good form. I was in rotten form, and worried. I was worried. That's been brutally honest, Shirley. Saying thanks, and lovely to see you healthy and back again. Can't wait. We will catch up next week, and we'll catch up before that anyway, because you and I have something to discuss. So I'm going to go have a lovely evening. I am going to figure out how to use my cup. Let me see again. The mindful mug. Love that. And it's Cora Cummins. You'll find her on Instagram. Cummins is Cummins, Cora Cummins ceramic. But even, you know what, I will figure out how to drink from it. But even just to feel it, it just feels gorgeous. That will put you in good humor, even just to do that. And one thing she said, when you put in your tea into the cup, the Japanese have a theory that if the cup is too hot to touch on the outside, the beverage inside is too hot to drink as well. So remember that. So go enjoy. Your health is your wealth, Brita. I've said that. It's a cliche, but I've said that so much over the last couple of days, stroke weeks, and I can't tell you enough. Yes, it's all you have at the end of the day. Without your health, you have nothing, absolutely nothing. So go now, and you know what? Homework for this evening. I want you to go and do something lovely for yourself, even if it's just to sit down now and have some peppermint tea, or I don't know, ring a friend who puts you in good humor, or somebody that you know that you'll put into good humor by your phone call. And I'll be back. I don't know what days I'll be back next week. I have to figure that out over the next couple of days, but there will be an agenda, and we will be back in some shape or form. It might take a while to ramp up to full production, and I need to get lots of new guests. And if anybody has a suggestion for a guest, somebody that you think would be really interesting, or a topic that you think would be really interesting, let me know, and I'll find the guest or the expert if you tell me the topic. Also, if there are things that you want to know about in your home, let me know, because all this information is in my head. So if I can help you, I will. And in fact, for the girls who are doing Finding Your Fabulous, part of that is actually getting your home to help you as well. So I will be spending a bit of time on improving the home to improve you, but mostly Finding Your Fabulous is going to be all about you. So it could be the best gift you give yourself, and between now and Christmas, your head could be in a very, very seriously different space. Miriam is saying, that's Miriam Conway, you're an inspiration. Keep safe, keep well, thank you. Not sure about the inspiration, but listen, we'll all keep inspiring each other. So I'm going to go and I'm going to make some fresh tea and figure out how to use the mug. I might even give Cora a ring and ask her. So I will see you next week. I'm delighted to be back, and I'm really glad that I decided to do this live. Great to see you. Bye-bye, guys. And now will I remember where to see? Oh gosh, I'm wearing an orange dress today, and the end broadcast button has just come up in orange as well. So I guess all I have to do is hit that, and away we go. Oh, Marion is saying, take care, Anne. It's been a tough 18 months, and my daughter did not get great news last March and is still attending St. Vincent's Hospital for treatment. Ethna McGlynn is saying, just mind yourself, put yourself first. She's absolutely right. Oh, Marion, my heart goes out to you, because I know, like, we put on a smile, but nobody knows what's going on behind somebody else's smile, and that is the truth. I'm sending you all my love, my hugs, and my best wishes, and just stay as strong as you can for yourself and for her. Okay. Thanks, girls. Thanks for all the support. You know what? It means so much to me, and I knew that I could come on here and I would just get a friendly welcome back, and I thank you for that. Lovely chat. Somebody's saying, yes, thank you for the lovely chat. It was lovely. I see you next week, and I do look forward to it, and you'll have Anne back bouncing, driving you mad probably, but I will be back. And Marianne, I'll be thinking of you. There we go. End broadcast. Okay. Bye, guys. Over and out.